Hi all, a very warm welcome to Anil Nair classes. I'm your English trainer Sheetal. I've already taken one class for you for nouns. A brief introduction for the people who have missed my previous class. I have almost experience of 18 plus years of teaching students or helping students in clearing the English section of various competitive exams, right? Now, I hope with my experience, I'll be able to help you to solve majority of questions correct in your English section. Fine, let's move ahead to the next topic. Pronouns. So now when we talk about the pronouns, we discussed that in the nouns itself, we discussed that nouns can function as three different things. A noun can function as the noun itself. It can also function as adjectives, or it can function as the adverb, right? Similarly, your pronouns also can function as either adjective also, right? So we are also looking over here also, we will be studying about the functional aspect of the pronoun. So in context to the particular sentence, what exactly a pronoun is functioning as. And nouns and pronouns are very closely related to each other. Reason behind that is we'll come to know when we'll discuss about the pronoun definition in the next slide, right? So what is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word which is used instead of a place, right? It's a word which is used in place of a noun or a noun phrase. It's not just that noun it replaces, it could replace a noun phrase. Now noun phrase is what? A group of words which is describing a noun is called as the noun phrase, right? So instead of that noun phrase also, if we use another word, that is called as a pronoun. The reason behind using a pronoun is that we want to avoid the repetition of the nouns. Clear? So a simple words which are used instead of nouns are called as pronouns. We use pronouns to avoid the repetition of the nouns. Now we are talking about this, that they refer to the noun. So the noun to which your pronoun refers or replaces is called as the antecedent. Suppose if I say Radha is my student and she is very intelligent, right? So when I say Radha is my student, Radha is a noun, right? Now instead of saying again then Radha is very intelligent, I am using a word she over here. She is a pronoun and Radha she refers to which noun is Radha. So she is a pronoun and Radha is the antecedent for the pronoun she. Clear? So the point of this slide is that we should know the definition of pronoun. So pronouns are the words which are used in place of nouns or the noun phrase to avoid their repetition. An antecedent is a noun to which your pronoun refers or replaces. Fine. Next slide, let's move ahead. So before moving ahead, as we have discussed in the chapter nouns also, that only nouns and pronoun can function as the subject or object of the verb. No other part of the speech can function as the subject or the object. This is the first point you should always remember. Second, what we have discussed in the nouns also, that we are studying in depth about the singular plural form of the nouns so that we can solve the questions related to subject verb agreement properly. Similarly, since we have to study noun singular plural forms for subject verb agreement, the same thing applies for the pronouns also, because pronoun also functions as either the subject or the object of the verb. So here also, for solving the subject verb agreement questions, we need to know the singular and the plural form of the pronouns. Now one thing is we have done in the previous noun chapter, that subject verb agreement, but now here, since we know that pronoun will definitely refer to only one noun, one pronoun will refer to one noun. if you have a pronoun and it is referring to noun 1 or noun 2 also, this is wrong. One pronoun will refer to only one particular noun, right? If that is the condition, instead of a pronoun, you can replace it with the noun itself. Now, we have to also look for the noun and the pronoun agreement. That means a pronoun must be consistent with the noun to which it refers, right? In terms of three things. In terms of number, number means singular, plural, case, that is the subjective case, objective case, or the possessive case, and gender. Gender is masculine, feminine, and the neuter gender. So if the pronoun is referring to the singular noun, you'll use a singular pronoun. If it is referring to plural noun, you'll use a plural pronoun. If it is referring to subject case, you'll use the subject pronoun. Object, object pronoun. If it is referring to feminine gender, you'll use the pronoun which is in the feminine gender. So this is what is called as the noun pronoun agreement. This also you have to pay attention, right? So in the previous class in the nouns, we discussed about the noun pronouns can function as the subject or the object. Then we discussed about subject verb agreement along with our nouns chapter. So in this chapter, we'll be discussing all these 3 points. Apart from those previous two, we'll talk about the noun and the pronoun agreement also. Fine, let's move ahead to the next slide. Now there are 8 types of the pronouns. The first one is the personal pronoun, where you can talk personally to someone. Like I can talk to you, you can talk to me, right? I can talk to him, he can talk to me, and I can talk to her, she can talk to me, he can talk to me, they can talk to me, I can talk to them, and one of you can talk to me, right? So this is the easy way of remembering these personal pronouns. Possessive pronouns, they talk about the ownership, right? Now, if I say there is the ownership of the book, right? So I'll say this is my book, this is her book, this is his book, right? This is our book, this is their book. What you have observed, you have these pronouns which are present before the noun. There's another way, the remaining pronouns, you'll have you can say that this book is mine, right? So when I say this book is, if the sentence is this book is, right? Then we can say what? This book is mine, this book is hers, this book is his, this book is theirs, and ours. You can also say this is your book, this is your book, this book is yours. And another possessive pronoun is its. So these are the pronouns. We can sometimes you will see that some of the possessive pronouns like mine, hers, his, theirs, ours, yours, they are placed after the verb, and some of them they are placed before the verb. Clear? Now all the pronouns which are ending with self and selves, they are called as the reflexive pronouns. Now about the reflexive and the emphatic pronouns we'll discuss in the later on in this chapter itself, but right now just pay attention towards the examples. Reciprocal pronouns, when you have which is ending with other, like each other or one another. So the point of this slide is we have personal pronouns referring to personally to someone, possessive pronouns showing about the ownership, reflexive pronouns, that is the words which are ending with self and selves, reciprocal pronouns when you have the words like each other and the one another, when you refer to two people or more than two people. Then the fourth one is relative pronouns. If you look at the relative pronouns example, they are having WH words like who, whose, whom, which, that, etc. So the name says that they show the relationship between the nouns and the pronouns and the other words in the sentence. Now have a look at the examples of our 8th type pronoun, which is interrogative pronouns. Here also the examples are same like who, whom, whose, which, etc. Now it depends upon in context to the sentence how exactly a word has been used That way only we will say whether it is a relative or an interrogative pronoun. If I say the student who lives in hostel has come. So who has come? The student has come. This who is showing the relationship between the student and where she lives. So this is the place where this is functioning as a relative pronoun. But here if I say interrogative pronouns, if I say, who are you? Right? So I'm asking a question over here. So I'm asking a question, who are you? Here the word who is functioning as a interrogative pronouns. If I say, where are you going? It's again a interrogative pronouns. Now if I say, this is the place where I always wanted to go. I say, this is the place where I always wanted to go. So here the word where is functioning as a relative pronoun. Whereas when I say where are you going, this where is a interrogative pronouns. Now demonstrative pronouns, there are the words where we can point out our finger and talk about, point out and say about them. Now we have, when we talk about the nearby things, we will use the pronouns like this and these. This is used for singular, whereas these is used for plural. Then if you're talking about far away things, we'll use that and those. Those is the plural form, whereas that is a singular form. And then we have distributive pronouns, the sixth one, that is like each, either, neither, everyone, none, etc. These are the distributive pronouns where we distribute the things over here, right? So in this point of this particular slides is that in context to the sentence, the functioning of a particular word may change. That example you would have read as a relative pronoun example, but in one sentence it can act as an interrogative, whereas in the other one it can act as a relative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns where you can point out your finger and say, for the nearby things we'll say this and these, this is singular, these is plural. For far away things we'll say that and those. That is singular, those is plural. Let's move ahead to the next slide now. So now we have three persons, first, second and the third persons of the form of the personal pronoun. First person is the person who is speaking. Like first person singular, if I make the table like this over here, singular and plural. This is also again important over here because as I told you, we have to deal with the singular subject verb agreement as well as the noun pronoun agreement. So the first person singular is I, first person plural is we. Now second person is the person about who, or like the person to whom you are speaking. Right? Here the example is you. You can refer to singular as well as plural both. Third person is the person about whom you are talking. The singular will be example he, she, it, whereas the plural example will be they. So first person is the person who is speaking, example I and we. Second person is the person to whom you are talking, that is you, singular, plural both. Third person is the person about whom you are talking. It should be he, she, it and they. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Now, as I told you that the case, because they are used instead of the nouns, so you will have the case for the pronouns also. Subjective case means when it is functioning as the subject. When it is functioning as the object, we call it as the object case. Possessive case, it is showing the ownership of any particular noun. So first person singular, I, plural we. Second person you. Third person he, she, it is singular and they is plural. So now objective sentence form is when the pronoun is acting as the object. Like for I it will be me. For I you see this I, me, we, us. For you it will be both you only. Right? For they it will become them. For he it will be him. For her it will be her. She it will be her. And for it will be it only. Possessive pronouns like my, mine, your, yours, his, her, hers, theirs, its, right? So our, ours, yours, theirs, these are all your possessive pronouns. In detail, we have already discussed in the previous slide. So even the pronouns also have three cases, the subject case, object case and the possessive case. Let's move ahead to the next slide. The rules for the pronoun is, if the pronoun is used before the verb, it will be in the nominative or the subjective case. For the simple reason, the structure of the sentence will be, you will have the subject, verb, and then you will have the object. If the pronoun is used before the verb, it will be in the subject case. But if it is used after the verb, it will be used in the object case. Right? So always remember these examples. Right? So the subject case pronouns are I, we, you, she, he, it, and they. The objective case pronouns are me, us, you, him, her, it, and they. You get this very, and how to find the subject and the object. Now to find the subject, as I told you, you find the verb, right? Before the verb, you ask the question either who or what. You'll get a single word answer which is called as the subject of the sentence, which will either be a noun or a pronoun. To find the object, first find the verb. After the verb, ask the question who or what. You will get the object, which will either be a noun or a pronoun. So let's repeat the examples of the subject pronouns. I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. So for I, it will be me. With you, we, it will become us. You, she, her, he, him, it, they, them. Right? So me, us, you, him, her, it, and them are the object case pronouns. Now examples of this. See, we went to the store today. Went is the verb. So who went? We went. We is the subject case pronoun. She studied in Anil Nair classes. Studied is the verb. Who studied? She studied. She is the subject case pronoun. You ran 5 miles in the morning yesterday. Ran is a verb. Who ran? You ran. You is the subject. They are not very happy about what happened during the match. So are is the verb. Who are not very happy? They. They is the subject. You see all these subject pronouns, they are placed before the verb. So subject is placed before the verb. It's before. Then we have the Dean nominated Nilima and me. So nominated is the verb. Who nominated? The Dean nominated. The Dean nominated whom? Nilima and me. So these are the objects. So me is placed after the verb. So the object pronoun is placed after the verb. Clear? I hope the point of this slide is clear, that the subject pronoun is placed before the verb. The object pronoun is placed after the verb. Fine.
You can learn any subject, anywhere, any place, and on the go. Come, let us go the other way in learning. Download our revolutionary app for free. ANC.